Hello, this is Steven from Legit Tech Tutorials, the Legit Mobile and Legit PC, and welcome back to Construct 3 tutorial, beginning tutorial, known as also as Ava's Game. As you can see, today is Monday. I didn't have a chance to shoot this video yesterday as I got back from vacation and I shot Unity tutorial, and I was super tired and didn't want to shoot this game, shoot this one. I did fix, what I did do is I did fix the game to have all the updates up to the previous one. So what I suggest you do in this one here, I don't have any of the recordings, so what we're going to, from my brother, so what we're going to do in this one is we're pretty much going to come up to where we need to be as far as having all of the animals in. So pretty much what you're going to see is you're going to see me going through websites and looking at, or me basically going through the Google images to find some of these different animals and stuff, and then posting them in, and then getting all of the alignment right with the angles. So it's going to be not very interesting, but I might as well shoot it. So if you guys are interested in watching it, you could do so. I might just mute my mic and go through it, and you could just see what I'm doing. Is basically I'm just going to be changing these angles and going to find images and looking at the images and picking one, and maybe unmuting and mentioning why I'm picking that image. Then I'm going to put it in and scale it down so it's about 128 by whatever, right? By holding holding shift and using this guy, and then basically setting all the angles so the angles are right, hitting this and making sure that it lines up in these kind of areas here. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing for this next 30 minutes, or now 28 minutes. So what you could do is on the YouTube video, you could click the gear, and then you could have it go faster, like 1.5 times or whatever they have available. Let's see, what do they have available? Playback speed, normal, 1 1/4, 1.5, 1.75, and 2. So you could pick one of those speeds if you don't want to, if you still want to see the content, but you want to go through it quickly, because again, this is not crazy important, because we've done this before. So if you want to do that, go ahead and feel free to do so. I won't take offense to it. I wish I could do it on my end, because it's basically, I do like picking the images, but I wish it would just kind of do it itself. But obviously you have to do it, and that's part of the game development process. And it's just something, that normally I would, if I wasn't doing videos, I would jump into a video game of some type, and whenever I die or in between switching levels or whatever, I'll put it in, and then within that day it'll be done. So in this case, I'm doing it in a video format, so and also it's still recording my screen audio, so I won't, so we can still hear where all of the things are activated. So we won't do that at this current time. So, but yeah, normally I would just have some music on and then do this stuff. And so we'll do all of that laying out in this video, laying out all the images and getting everything set up. And then next video we'll add audio. Next video, which is next week, we'll add the audio, and then we'll go into Audacity, and I will record with my brother separate the Audacity sound, and then I'll show you guys how I did it and all the audio clips, and then we're going to replace those audio clips, and then pretty much we are done with the game, and then we'll look at exporting it. And then obviously at that point, if it was an actual game, I would go and have my own custom art made for the game that I own, and go from there. But obviously from there, it's just going to kind of be a game for Ava to play around with. I don't think I'm actually going to release it, but we might try to put it on some store or something and see how that goes, and then put it on store temporarily and see and make sure that you can actually indeed download it and play it on a phone or whatever. So we might mess around with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I might leave the mic unmuted, because I do kind of want to mute it, because you might hear like my fans on and my cat might meow or whatever, and it'll sound really weird if you're at 1 1/4 times speed. So I will only talk when I really need to add something, because I mean we pretty much did all this before. So all right, so let's go ahead and get started. We are 5 minutes in, so let's go ahead and see if we could get it all done in 25 minutes. So before we do that, pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with looking at the image here, and I'll have this image in the other page, and we're just going to probably start out with these animals and maybe think of some other ones. Probably do like a pig and a sheep. That's pretty good. Yeah, pig and a sheep. Yeah. And I'll come up with some other, cool animals, like, do already have a lion. But yeah, all the cool small animals. Maybe even a cat. I mean, we have cats, so I'd like to add a cat as well. So we'll go through and we'll find that stuff. So let's go ahead. Here's some ideas here. I'll leave this in the other screen. I might bring it over sometimes. So I'll be bringing over the stuff, but I might just not talk about it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute now. Let's go ahead and fill in the rest of these and see how many we could get in there at the 128 pixel size, the 128 by 150, around there. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, because I like that one. That one's kind of small, so that's unfortunate, but that is what it is, I guess. Because it's not very tall here, but it is the same width as everything else. It's just a different aspect ratio. It looks like it's square, almost square. These are very rectangular, right? They're extremely tall compared to their width. It's like twice the width. This is like 1.5 times, or this is like less. This is actually less than the width. And I think this is the only image that's less than the width. This one's pretty much square. Yeah, it is exactly square. This one's pretty much exactly square. This one's almost exactly square. Almost exactly square. Almost square. That's not. So, we'll see. I do like it, so let's go with that. Construct 3, it has a very powerful editor, a very powerful image editor. So that is something that is very good. So it's very easy to go in there and edit the images that you need to basically change. So that's pretty nice. I'm trying to think of another sort of animal that has an interesting sound. Maybe an alligator. Because basically we're out on this game here. A turkey. Turkey. Let's do a turkey. We have a rooster. Cartoon turkey. Okay. There we go. We have a really, really good fit. So number one thing I'm going to do at this point is definitely going to save as. Download copy. This is Ava's Game 8 1919 V1. So, because I see a little bit of weird stuff going on with this one. Anyways, so we're going to go from here. Obviously, we have a few issues with some of them. This one being too tall, some of these ones being small. Now, I was thinking, so obviously this is what the screen itself is going to look like. So you're going to be able to see these animals really, really well. Let me see if I could show you guys what the screen would actually look like. I mean, that's basically what the screen is going to look like. It's going to be very, very zoomed in. You're going to see all high fidelity images. So now the question is, and you can see that these aren't perfectly in line here. So maybe move this guy down here a little bit. Cat down a little bit, and then turn this guy 90. Needs to be about there. Needs to go down a little bit more. Right about there. Move the monkey up a little bit. There we go. Now it looks pretty good. It looks in line here. Everything looks nicely spaced out. Okay, so another thing that I was thinking is maybe if this gets a little disorientating about these animals being flipped, or maybe at this point, maybe the animals are now this way, but then they're flipped around. So one of the things I was thinking is maybe what we might look into is instead of having this dial spin, we could have the animals spin. So the dial stays facing straight up, and then the animals spin around the dial. Because that's a limitation with the functional version, because that's very difficult to do, is to get this section to spin instead of this to spin. And especially when they have multiple sheets of the animals, it's very difficult to get the circle, the outside circle to spin instead of the arrow to spin. So that may be something very interesting where you actually see the animals spinning, but I'm wondering if it's going to get a little disorientating as far as seeing these things go around at that speed. But I think it wouldn't be that difficult. But basically we're going to have math where you determine the center point position of this character, and then it's where it is according to this guy, and then have it rotate, because you see it's got an angle and a position. So basically you want it to move position in a circle and also rotate with respect to the center. So it's always, actually I think you could have it look at the center. Let's see. Add event, whatever. Let's just say, let's go back, touch, isn't touch, or, place condition, touch, is touching object, cat, done. What we want to do, cat, set angle, or back. To have a look at. Interesting. Set angle towards position. Rotate towards position. rotate towards position. So then basically what we need to do is have math that if it rotates at this speed, then it needs to spin its angle at this speed, and then do that for all of them. So that might be something that we'll look at. We'll see how disorientating it gets normally with what we have here. So, but other than that, I think we're pretty good. We have all of our guys laid out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 animals compared to the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, minus the 2 musics and the question mark. So let's go ahead, and we have a couple minutes here. I do need to leave on time. Well, actually, we might go. Actually, it's pretty much done here. So I am going to have to leave on time because right before gym time's 10 o'clock. So I need to get dressed and leave at 10 o'clock. So we have this guy laid out. So we're probably going to have next weekend. Pretty much what I'm going to do is that Sunday I'll probably record with my brother. And then that video will set all these angles and get all the sound. So we'll set these angles right. Get all the sound, and then probably the next video we'll mix it. So that gives us mix my brother's audio and the sound audio to do what we need to do, and from there, it's pretty much going to be done. So I'm going to say at least another 2 weekends, and we should be done with this guy, and it's looking pretty good so far. So. And then from there, we'll know the basics, and then we'll look at what we have to do to publish a game like this, what it looks like when I host it on my website, and that kind of jazz. So we'll look at that at that time. So that will give me at least 2 weekends to finish mixing. If I don't get audio from my brother this weekend, then I have to get it next weekend, and then we're gonna go from there. Alright, so this has been Steven from Legit Tech Tutorials, the Legit PC, and the Legit Mobile. Thank you guys for staying tuned for my beginning Construct 3 series. If you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like it, and I'll see you guys for the Unity game engine and also Construct 3 tutorial continuing next weekend. Take it easy. Peace.